amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I know it cannot happen without you.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
The pursuit of inner peace often draws survivors of narcissistic abuse toward spirituality, seeking healing. However, some fall into the trap of encountering spiritual narcissists who exploit this search, using concepts like enlightenment and growth to manipulate and abuse emotionally. These individuals project a facade of wisdom and connection, making victims feel profound connections early on. The cycle involves love bombing, devaluation, and self-doubt, where victims question their worth based on the narcissist's manipulation. The torment inflicted by these individuals can lead to intense suffering, leaving victims shattered, while the narcissist maintains a facade of enlightenment. Recognizing genuine spiritual growth involves authenticity, respect, and love, empowering individuals to reclaim their unique paths without being controlled by others.
He said it all. Let's turn the show off. He said it all. This is what I'm saying. We've been taught through the Disney model that we need somebody else to fulfill us. That is simply not the case. Yes, human beings are inherently connected to one another. Yes, we want connection. Yes, but the reality of it is the healing, the revealing, the expansion, the growth starts from within and is your responsibility to maintain. If somebody on the outside of you can disturb your peace, you haven't mastered it yet. Reggie, Austin, Texas, get in here.
Man, I really appreciate everything that you said. I know I can't control anybody else. I can only control me and how I show up and the ways that I show up in relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. That's all in my court. Mm-hmm. And the way I used to deal with narcissists was just distancing myself. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to deal with relationships that way. I just got to know how I come in a relationship, mm-hmm. and it's a friendship or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But man, it's tiring, bro.
Wait, because you deep right now. How long did it take for you to recognize that the person was stonewalling, the person was gaslighting, the person was omitting the whole truth? The person was deactivating. The person was pulling away. How long did it take you to realize the game?
When I knew what it was, when I saw the game, it didn't take me long at all. It was like a reflex.
Now,
like I can't deal with this. Yeah.
So you went right to I gotta distance myself, right?
Yes.
There you go. There you go. That's healing, because there are some people who will turn into the chaser. Do you see? And when you chase a narcissist, the very act of chasing is supply. Cut them off.
Wow.
Forever. Wow. And don't speak again. Make sense?
It does.
Appreciate
Thank you, man.
brother. Thank you, my brother.
Always, man.
Yo, if you want to bring your city in the building, you already know what you got to do. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. I know a lot of people have dealt with it. I love the way Paramahansa Yogananda, author of Autobiography of a Yogi. I keep mentioning this book because it's an amazing book, and I really, really love it. What he says here should give you a deeper insight in what I'm trying to bring to you from a spiritual level. Remember, I make a distinction between the clinical and the spiritual. The clinical is exceedingly useful, okay? I love the clinical piece. I'm studying the clinical piece as we speak. I love the clinical side of psychology. It's beautiful, okay? It's flawed, but it's beautiful. The reason why it's flawed is because it uses the Western method, the Western scientific method, which is rooted in replication. Spirituality is like quantum mechanics. And, for instance, Einstein's theory of relativity is linear. It makes sense. It's a more elegant version of Newton's Newtonian physics. But when you get into quantum physics, it is random. Spirituality is random. This is why the old sages said God moves in mysterious ways. Why? Because they didn't understand the movements of God, just like many people don't understand physics. I forgot the physicist who said, if I meet somebody who says they understand physics, I know they don't understand physics, right? Because physics is not something that is linear. It is nonlinear, and that is in alignment with spirituality. But listen to what Paramahansa Yogananda has to say about self-realization. And let me just say this. Self-realization is the purpose for being in a relationship. It is the purpose for being in a relationship. To see oneself, to know oneself. Paramahansa Yogananda says it this way: self-realization is, in fact, the only religion. For it is the true purpose of religion. No matter how people define their beliefs, self-realization is, in fact, the only religion. For it is the true purpose of religion. No matter how people define their beliefs. That's no different than Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. And I have said, ye are gods. The whole purpose of studying under Christ is to go on to do even greater things than he did. That's self-realization. And guess what the universe, planet Earth is the campus, relationship is the school. That is the curriculum. This is how you see yourself. So then to turn around and then say, you are responsible for my peace. That makes you no different than a narcissist. You are going after somebody to give you something that God said you're supposed to give yourself by overcoming what you modeled in childhood. I know these are heavy thoughts, man. I know these are heavy thoughts. But this is the reality of why we relate. Attila, get back in here and give me your final thoughts.
Uncle Zoe, my bad. I ain't got no electricity, child, so who knows what's going on.
Oh, that's right. You're in Houston. I hope you guys are safe down there.
I'm in the dark.
Wow.
You hear me? Look, but hey, who cares about the dark when you have an inner light? Right? And I want to kind of speak to what you were just saying about responsibility. So I wrote in the chat, responsibility means answering the call. See, but with the narcissist, the call is coming from inside the house. The same thing that I want to be upset about a narcissist for, meaning I would like to be upset about their lack of introspection and upset about their selfishness and upset about the ways in which they behave and never, maybe cop to what they did or never actually live up to their promises. I've had to recognize that I do those exact things to myself, and I did it to me first. So why wouldn't they? And I'm not saying that to discourage or to sound defeatist, it's more so just to recognize that your reflection in terms of your internal mirror, right? If I'm putting a blanket over my own internal mirror, so are they.
But you said,
I can't.
You just said it, and it blew my mind. Narcissists are self-unaware. This is why the most healed version of them, they call themselves, I'm an aware self-narcissist. I'm an aware narcissist is what they say. I'm a self-aware narcissist. That's the term they use. I'm a self-aware narcissist. And most narcissists don't know that they're narcissists. That's the biggest piece right there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say part of that is because when you make a mistake and you are in an SLD, you have a tendency to overcompensate. But you can imagine for someone who's more narcissistic, that mistake is a wounding. It is a peeling back of the I'm not good enough, of the worthiness wound, of whatever it is that they have within them that keeps them putting on that mask every day. And so I would say that when we're talking about spiritual narcissists and people who tend to take on this holier than thou, like almost kind of like love is light, the Pollyannas, all that stuff, when I see that type of stuff from people, I just move away from them. I think that as an SLD, what I've tended to do in the past is try and hug it out of them, right? Because I'm trying to go with their mask. Their mask says Pollyanna. Their mask says positivity. But I'm not connecting the dots that this is a ruse. It's not real. So I'm thinking that I can produce or control an outcome through my positivity. So now I'm no better than you. And so you see what I'm saying? And so it's a tightrope. I think the more self-aware you are, the less likely you are to attract people of this nature, or at least kind of get hooked in their grasp. It doesn't mean that you won't encounter them. Of course, you're going to encounter them. You might date them, but you won't end up in a 3-year relationship. It'll be more like maybe 3 weeks, and you'll be like, what was that? Oh, my God, I learned some stuff. You know what I mean? I gotta move on. Let me go take a cold shower. Let me do a little bit of cleansing. Let me fast, whatever it is I need to do. And I think our recovery time can be a lot better because you are in a battlefield. You're in war when it comes to them.
Right. I love it. Attila, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. Please stay safe down in Houston. I hope them lights come on soon. Let's get it. The voice of reason is always willing and able to accept phone calls. I know you've been through it. I've been through it. We all been through it. We works in progress. Nobody is perfect. But are y'all listening to what's being said? Sister Jashana Johnson was on the show a few months back, and she said something that just stuck with me, and I've been repeating it several times. When she said she doesn't like the love languages, she said because those love languages are actually coming from attachment wounds. I said, whoa, I never looked at it like that. So the wound needs a supply. The codependent is acting, the SLD, codependent, self-love deficient, is acting like a narcissist. In other words, they are seeking supply. I'm not saying the SLD is a narcissist. I'm saying the narcissist or the SLD needs a supply just like the narcissist. The narcissist is looking for validation. The self-love deficient person is looking to be seen as worthy, looking for approval, looking to matter to somebody. But it's still supply, right? Let's get back to this self-knowledge thing. The great Krishnamurti puts it this way: the more you know yourself, the more clarity there is. Self-knowledge has no end. You don't come to an achievement. You don't come to a conclusion. It is an endless river. So many people are tired of learning about themselves because they don't like what they find. This is why they say, when are the lessons over? When am I going to get what I desire? You're not in a relationship with a person. You're in a relationship with a desire. And to me, a desire is supply. Whether you're narcissistic or codependent, you need some kind of supply. It's nobody's job to heal those wounds. It's your job to recognize who you are. It's your job to come to the realization of, wow. Listen, I was in a lounge, and I'm talking to the brother, and I tell the brother, say, man, don't judge your mom. She did the best she could. Oh, I think that's an excuse. My mama, see, you still mad at your mama. My mama say that all the time. I say, listen, so what? She did the best she could. Do you understand? She did the best she could. And if the best she could do wasn't good enough, if the best she could do was horrible, so what? I asked the brother, are you on drugs? Nope. Did you go to jail? Nope. Are you college educated? Yep. Do you have a great career? Yep. And are you now sitting in this lounge getting the truth about your soul? Yep. So guess what? You have the tools to rebuild from within. And until you reconcile by letting your expectations of who you thought she was supposed to be go, you're not going to heal. But you got the tools to do it. Do you want to heal, or do you want to keep her on the hook for who you were supposed to be? Right? There's a way to get past it now. Many people don't want to get past it. They want to stay in victimhood mentality. They want to stay blaming and shaming. But I'm going to tell you again, if God lifted you to a place where you're actually doing better, if you look back and try to condescend and clown and flaunt where God put you, please understand God could take it away just as easily as he gave it to you, because clearly you're not finished. When I come forward, the voice of reason, go keep cooking.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
why should we be silent?
Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond. through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So let's talk about narcissists and religion. This is not religion specific. It can be any religion, from major world religions to whatever religion they've made up. This is a question that's come to us from several of our YouTube subscribers, several people on Instagram, and I've gotten several emails about this. They will say, it is astonishing to us that a narcissist will hide behind religion. Let me tell you this, it happens all the time. And what's interesting is one of the professions that has the highest rates of narcissism is the clergy. It's a very powerful position when you think of it. And while we'd like to think that anyone who's devoted themselves to spirituality and faith is full of empathy, unfortunately the power part is what throws that off. Obviously there are amazing, devoted people who have devoted their lives and their career.
We're going to go back to Dr. Romney. My brother Andy, he didn't like that. He didn't like it. Andy was like, oh, no, you ain't finna come after the clergy, brother. Don't you come after the clergy. Well, go ahead, Andy.
You misinterpreted my expression. It was more like, I'm not surprised.
How about
you know what
it?
I mean? I guess the only question I have is it all clergy? Or are we speaking on Christianity, though?
Ooh, no. I don't think she's saying, she said it didn't matter what religion, but I think what happens is when people are elevated, right, by the people, that ego get elevated too. You think the same thing that's happening to the clergy is not happening in an SLD, narcissistic, bonded relationship? The SLD usually elevates the narcissist, or vice. Man, get Romney back in here.
And their careers and their calling to their religion, bravo. And this isn't just about clergy. This is about how do they use religion. So let's think about it. In some ways, religion's a battle you can't win. It's really hard to fight the battle of, well, that's what God said. Like, okay, I guess, checkmate. Not much I can say past that. But here's what narcissists often do, and this is what to me is so horrifying. They use religion as one more tool to rationalize their narcissistic behavior. Either they'll go real simple with it, well, that's what God says, or they will do things for whatever religious community they're in, a church, a temple, a mosque, whatever they call their particular religious community.
Pause. And just like a narcissist, many people who are spiritual narcissists always want to place themselves in a light of perfection, in a light of elevation. This is why I come back to the point. You don't see many relationship specialists or many quote unquote clinicians come out and say, I might be a clinician, but that don't mean I'm not flawed. I might be a psychologist, but that don't mean I don't still have broken pieces, right? I might be blessed and highly favored, but that don't mean that I don't still have my issues. I come on here nightly and tell y'all, dude, I ain't got it together. I end every show by saying, you ain't got to agree with me. Please don't take what I'm saying as the absolute gospel truth. I be frustrated just like y'all. I'm living a life where I'm going, wow, why did that happen to me? What is going on? How can I get it together, God? Please give me counsel. Please give me grace. I'm on my knees every day trying to overcome me. But nah, you guys get caught up in the perfectly presented package, right? In the external facade, and then you elevate those people. Let it finish.
They're in a church, a temple, a mosque, whatever they call their particular religious community. And they will really be the big man around church, temple, mosque, whatever their religious community is. They'll be that, or big woman. They'll be that person, highly devoted to the church, an elder, a deacon, a senior member of the whatever that religious community is. They'll be involved in the choir. They'll be involved in whatever board of directors or what there may be with a religious community. And that's one way they can all but guarantee that they trick everyone. But he's such a holy man. He's so involved in his church. Or she's such an amazing woman. She never misses a Sunday at church. The hypocrisy is galling. And what's angering and devastating to me is people who actually do, in a meaningful way, take their faith seriously. So they actually listen, maybe with a heavier ear, to other people from their faith-based community. And that's where a narcissist is often able to take advantage. Like, well, they're so devoted to the church, so how can they be a bad person? They must be great. I have seen narcissists use religion to make excuses for everything from infidelity.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Biden administration is dodging questions following a report that a Parkinson's disease expert visited the White House 8 times in 8 months. Black Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre declined to confirm the purpose of the visits, but stated that President Biden is not undergoing treatment for Parkinson's. She noted the White House medical unit routinely hosts various specialists for military personnel working on the grounds amid ongoing scrutiny over Biden's age and potential for another presidential term if reelected in November. A Philadelphia radio host is parting ways with the station she worked at after she revealed she used questions given to her by President Biden's campaign in an interview. Andrea Lawful Sanders mutually left the station after she said on CNN that she was given a list of 8 questions from the Biden campaign and she approved 4 of them. A Biden administration official told CBS News they do not condition interviews on acceptance of these questions, and any host is free to ask any question they please. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select battery 2-pack. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/20. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
KBLA Talk 1580 is now celebrating 3 years of amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Tips to help improve your credit score in 2024. Establishing credit is an important key to achieving financial health, but building a credit history from scratch can feel challenging since you need credit to build credit. First, what does it mean to build credit? All consumers have a score between 300 and 850. You want your score to be as high as possible as lenders look at your credit score to make loan and credit decisions. A good credit score shows you have a track record of borrowing money responsibly. Remember, it's never too late to build or rebuild your credit. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I did a recent video on the difference between the overt and the covert narcissist, and I mentioned in that video a certain type of covert narcissist that is extremely dangerous, and that is the spiritual narcissist. This is because they will prey upon the vulnerability and the loneliness of the spiritual seekers, people who are looking to belong, people who are looking to be recognized and seen. So if you consider yourself a spiritual or religious person, please understand that you are at higher risk of meeting these types of narcissists. So in this video, I want to talk about what is a spiritual narcissist, what are some tools they use, what are some things they say, and how you can develop immunity towards spiritual narcissists. Now, several years ago, when I was first starting this channel, I did a video on spiritual narcissists, and I'm going to put that link up here if you want to check it out. Today, I want to go even deeper into this topic. So what is a spiritual narcissist? These are self-absorbed manipulators who use spiritual and religious texts, tenets, dogma as a way of abusing other people. So they will take something that's true or...
Pause it. I'm going to go back to her. I'm going to let her finish. Andy, make sure you remind me. But this is on my soul right now. Let me tell you what a spiritual narcissist is. Do you remember Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One? KRS-One once said, real bad boys move in silence, right? Real hood folk, real gangsters ain't out here advertising the dirt they do, right? Well, guess what? The same applies to spirit folk. Dr. David R. Hawkins, author of Power versus Force, or even the book, I would suggest everybody get this book right here, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. Let me tell you, I told you guys about this brother. He put together a consciousness grid. And we talk about his consciousness grid all the time. At the very bottom of the grid it's a numerical system, but at the very bottom of the grid, right, it's shame, and it vibrates at 20, the numerical value of 20. At the highest is enlightenment, and he puts Christ at the top. He says that's 1,000. And how he explains it is, he says that power of consciousness, that 1,000 numerical value is so powerful that the light, the divinity, can barely stay in the body. It is so powerful. You understand? Let me just give you this real quick. People don't understand. According to this man's research, he's a psychiatrist, he's MD. He created a system based on kinesiology where he says when one tells the truth, the body gets strong. When one lies, the body is weak. I've lied before and I've been weak. I've lied a lot and I've been weak a lot. I'm not afraid to acknowledge what I've done. Okay? Are you? But what he breaks down here in his consciousness grid, he said he did a global survey, a global test, where he breaks it down. He says the average person on planet Earth is vibrating at the level of fear, anxiety. We're anxious when we get in relationships. We're skeptical of people when we get in relationships. This is why trust and loyalty matters so much. Those wounds have been exposed. Those wounds have been torn down. Do you understand? Like, oh my God, I don't want to trigger that wound no more. So peep game. He said the average person is vibrating at 100. He said all over the planet. In one of his books, he said there are 12 people on planet Earth that are vibrating at the consciousness level of 750 or higher. He said it is those 12 people that counterbalance everybody else. That's billions of people. 12 people that counterbalance the other 8-9 billion people that raises the overall average to 207. Actually 225. He said, but if you take those 12 people off planet Earth, we're all vibrating at 100, which is the numerical value of fear. Fear of losing your home, fear of not finding the love you want, fear of not making money, fear of not being accepted, fear of not being approved of. All of us are inundated with fear, right? Now, I'm going to ask y'all out there in radio world, do y'all know who the 12 people are? Just like real bad boys move in silence, real good people move in silence. God don't bless you to be a boaster. God doesn't raise you to go boast about how he raised you. God raised you to bless you. That's it. You understand? And your blessing might not be another's blessing. The way he blessed you might not be the way he blesses another. So it's not your job to flaunt your blessing. I know people don't want to hear it, but you're not healed if you're doing it. And if you're not healed, believe me, that blessing might turn into a lesson, which will be a different kind of blessing. If you're willing to accept the lesson. I know you don't want to hear it that way, but that's what it is. Let's get even deeper. Again, intimate relationships are about self-awareness. This is how we discover ourselves. The great Krishnamurti put it this way: awareness is observation without choice, condemnation, or justification. How many times have you been able to look at yourself without judging? How many times have you been able to look at yourself without condemning the dark aspects of yourself? How many times have you been able to look at yourself without justifying why you're this way? Awareness is silent observation from which there arises understanding without the experiencer and the experienced. In this awareness, which is passive, the problem or the cause is given an opportunity to unfold itself and so give its full significance, why it's here. In awareness, there is no end in view to be gained, and there is no becoming. The me and the mind not being given the continuity. See, your judgment, your condemnation, your choosing the mask, which looks better, right, gives continuance to your broken, shattered ego. Listen, I don't give a damn how well I speak. I don't give a damn how good you think this relationship show is. I don't care if you think it has helped people. I'm hurting. I'm not finished. God ain't through with me. Every time you see me, you don't know, but every time you see me, I'm dusting myself off, getting back up off the ground. I'm never going to present myself as somebody who's completed it all, who's got it all figured out. I don't. What you're hearing on radio every day is an everyday process that comes from my self-inquiry. And if God so happens to bless me one day, you're not going to see me posted on Instagram. I can't do that. I'm not here to gloat about how I'm one of God's favorites. We all God's children. And sometimes God has a way of teaching one child in a different methodology in the way that he taught you. Sometimes God has a way of blessing one child in a different way than he blessed you. Some kids need a lesson as the blessing, and other kids need elevation as a blessing, and some kids need a demotion as a blessing. But please, don't get whatever blessing you got twisted. Your blessing ain't no better than anybody else's. Your lesson ain't no better than anybody else's. Y'all better stop this. Relationship is about growing you up spiritually. And if you somehow think somebody is supposed to show up and clean up your wounds for you, you got another thing coming. When I come forward, the voice of reason shall continue this.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward. Our city's hottest weeks of summer are approaching. If you're 60 or older, you're at risk of heat stroke or worse. Extreme heat can kill. That's why KBLA Talk 1580 is part of our year-long climate justice campaign. Has partnered with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power and the LA City Department of Aging for LADWP's Powered by Equity event, Heat Relief for Seniors Resource Fair. Join fellow LA seniors who hope to beat the heat and stay safe on Monday, July 15th, 10 a.m. at the Watts Labor Community Action Center in South Los Angeles. Learn about LADWP's Easy Save and Level Pay programs to help lower your monthly electric bill. And there will be tips and resources to be ready and safe in the heat. LADWP customers 60 years or older will be eligible to receive a portable air conditioner while supplies last. Personal ID and your LADWP bill are required. Contact your LA Department of Aging Neighborhood Senior Center for Cool LA Heat Relief for Seniors participation details or visit www.ladwp.com/events.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024 and beyond. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So let's talk a little bit about narcissistic people and pseudo-spirituality, shall we? If you're new to this channel, also please hit that subscribe button because it's a great community and you're learning all kinds of stuff about narcissism here. Now, one way that narcissistic folks gaslight the unfortunate folks who have to interact with them is by pretending to be spiritually evolved. Drop in the comments if any of you have run into these spiritually evolved narcissists. They take a few meditation retreats, fly down to Central America, do a whole ayahuasca thing, find a guru to enable them, get into the best branded yoga class, read some Vedantic texts, dangle a few crystals in their house, and talk more slowly and quietly. And voila, they're evolved, and you are not. So when you are just trying to live your life in the real world with all of its demands and rules and ask for anything, or heaven forbid you raise your voice, you get them to say, shall we breathe? I learned in my retreat it could be your chakras. And come, join me, and let's have some matcha. Oh, no.
Lord have mercy. I was going to let more of that play, but let me just do this. We got callers from Miami, Atlanta, Georgia, Mountain View, Hawaii. Hey, we only got 6 minutes left in the show, so please keep your thoughts brief. And I'm going to rattle through these callers ASAP. Who's been on the longest? John, Mountain View, Florida. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Have you been swallowed up?
Have you been swallowed? Swallowed. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
I just got jokes this evening. I'm actually trying to enjoy the lessons tonight. So I just wanted to call in, give you a break. Love your show. Continue to do what you do, and I support you always.
Thank you, my brother. John from Mountain View, Hawaii. Let's keep it pushing. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, that rapid fire salute to you, Unc. Even earlier, as you were echoing that sentiment off the top, you know, you get who you are. So I dare everyone, challenge everyone to lean into it. Like, if you really that one, the next one you get is a keeper. Period. Put it on the line.
I hear you.
Yeah, what it is, man. One love.
I hear you. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And then, Hustle, Miami, Florida. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So I see you put the call out, so you know what I mean. I reached out to you, bro.
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Man, so real quick, I ain't actually see the video, but I'll put something together off the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you checked your supply chain?
Your supply chain. Keep going.
It's the last time, because we just came out of a pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you, and I'm sure you felt the effects of the supply chain being cut off. Mm-hmm. That is what causes inflation.
Ooh.
Narcissists operate off of inflation. That's why you feel so drained. We need to check our supply chains, get the supply chains in order, then things will flow as they need to.
Lord have mercy, brother. Hustle. Guess what you just did?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida in the building. Let me just do this. My nephew called in, Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia. And I just got to be 100% honest, man. I appreciate the compliments. But I've shared this with many people that are close to me. I don't take compliments well because I'm such a mess, right? God is not through with me. I'm such a mess. I got so much work to do. You know, I feel like I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm living my purpose. But I'm still in such internal disarray, turmoil, still trying to figure out the truth of who I am, and there's more to me to learn, and I'm so much better than I was when I was in my 30s, but I still recognize that I have a really, really long way to go. And so when I hear people who say, "Oh, Zoe, you helped me and my wife," or you helped my relationship, and although I'm thankful, you know, I really like to put the onus back on the people. Like, listen, I can just say something, and if you do it, then you did that, right? This is why I'm so drawn to Krishnamurti. He didn't want people to put him on a pedestal, and I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I'm just like everybody else out there. These topics are coming from a real place. They're not coming from an egoic place. They're coming from a place where I'm trying to understand the fullness of my purpose, the fullness of my meaning as a person. And I try to do it with you guys as a collective every day when we have these deep conversations. So please understand that I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And we're going to have another slapper on deck tomorrow. Get ready!
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the